Welcome back to Gems Podcast. I'm your host, Genesis Amaris Kemp, and with me today is Debbie Freeman. And here's a bit about Debbie. At the early age of 19, she was an entrepreneur of her first dance studio. During that time, as a dancer and business owner, she was offered the opportunity to audition for the Atlanta Hawks NBA dance team, competing against 400 girls, y'all, and was awarded to be one of the 12 members. Her success led to the 42nd Street Will Rogers Follies and became the dance captain of the world famous Radio City Rockettes. Then, going on down, she choreographed and the show Beats of Passion at the Venetian Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Then, on top of her career in health and fitness, as well as her time as a business owner, dance team member, and choreographer, she is a single mother of two beautiful children. Then, a wild card factor, y'all. Are you ready for this one? She has won the title, the United States of America Miss Nevada 2021, and now doing master classes for students of all ages in modeling, interview, health, and self-awareness. And without further ado, please welcome Debbie Freeman to Gems Podcast, where we're going to learn how do you really manage and tackle your health so you could be in best health if you're over 40, and what really led her from going a single mom to gaining that title, y'all. She is a wow factor.
Well, Genesis, first of all, thank you. What a great intro. I was like, wow, she sounds pretty interesting. Oh, wait a minute, that's me. Ha ha. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so excited for this. And of course, I want to talk about health because that's like so important. And, talking about being 40 and above, it's so important because of, especially here in America, we are known for being like one of the fattest nations, heaviest. Okay, did I say that wrong? Heaviest, okay. And, one of my biggest things I want to say is that, a lot of people say, I feel comfortable in my skin. I'm confident in who I am and this, that, and the other. And that is good. You should, because I'm not all about being thin, being heavy. We all have different frames. Our bodies are different frames. We carry weight differently. Understanding that, I get, okay? But there is a factor of being healthy. And with the processed food here in America, did you know that the food that they grow, okay, they pick it before it's even ripe? So the food that they had back in the days, they would pick those tomatoes. And I don't know if you've ever had a tomato and you eat it and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so bland. It has no taste to it, right? And then you'll get one that's been like one from the backyard and it's been on that tree. You know the difference, right? You know what I'm talking about? She's shaking her head.
Yes.
Yeah, girlfriend. You know what I'm talking about. And it's sweet and it's juicy. And that's why you like eating a salad when you go to a restaurant, because they'll have the better fruits and stuff, right? So you don't mind there, but to eat one every day at home might not be so exciting. So for us that want to eat healthier, it's just not fun, right? And those fruits and vegetables, they're picked before they're ripened because there's so many more people in the world that they're trying to get them. It's supply and demand is what it is, unfortunately. So we're missing out on a lot of nutrients. And I kind of bring it to like total, eat for, this amount of total bowl of this compared to 20 bowls of this kind of cereal. You know what I mean? You're getting it's kind of crazy because we're not getting all the nutrients, and the nutrients, okay, and this is what people don't really understand. They're like, I'm going to take all my vitamins. It's not the vitamins. It's the nutrients, guys. It's the nutrients that you put in your body. It's the actual food, and you need to eat a rainbow of color. So when somebody says, well, I had a salad today. Okay, well, what was in your salad? It was green and red, and maybe some purple onion. Maybe that was it, and some more green cucumber. And they think that that's healthy. And yes, it is healthy. I want to tell you guys, it is healthy, but it's not enough. For what your body needs, it needs 7 portions of that a day. And it needs the rainbow, babes. It needs blues. It needs purples. It needs the oranges and the yellows and the, whatever color I'm missing. It needs it all. And your body needs those nutrients, okay? And, even our meat, okay, they take the cows, and you wonder why young kids of today have feet the size of, they're huge. Okay, they're growing fast because of the hormones they're giving the cows to grow them faster. I mean, let's be honest, they need these cows to grow faster so that we can have them, so we can eat them.
Absolutely. We're living in a society where everything is mass produced on a larger scale to complement with the growing population that we have. While we're complementing the growing population we have, we're suffering because we're not having enough nutrients or the proper nutrients. And that's why you see a lot of people are dealing with different forms of illnesses, because everyone is eating things that are on the go or that has been mass produced in the laboratory. So whenever Debbie was talking about the tomatoes, I was like nodding my head and shaking, because I come from a background where my family grew a lot of things. My dad was South American and my mom's Caribbean. So back there, if you want some coconuts, you climb the coconut tree and you get a coconut, or the mangoes. Or my grandmother used to grow different stuff in the gardens. And then when you come here to America, everyone is in the hustle and bustle mentality and you want things quick. So you're either going through a drive-through, or you're hitting up a Salada, or you're just grabbing something from the grocery store. But if we would stop and realize, maybe I need to start shopping on the outer perimeter of the store, which is what my sister does sometimes, and she barely goes down the seldom aisles. But then if you're working and you have kids and you're trying to juggle, you don't necessarily have time to focus on that meal preparation or getting everything done, because once you leave work, you have to come home and do your homework, which is like your kids and, the cleaning, the washing, and etc. Because that's the society that we live in. But what about if we get back to the old days where, our ancestors were growing up and they started to, go pick things from a garden and etc. Would we be a lot healthier?
We probably would be. I mean, all those nutrients. I'm telling you, I actually sell a product, okay? And I've been doing this for 4 years now, and I haven't seen a doctor for an antibiotic. I get bronchitis every year for 4 years. And it's quite amazing, but it doesn't matter whether it be that or you eating the right food. It's nutrients. And that's what I want to say today. I'm not here to sell a product. I just want to tell your listeners that it is nutrients that you got to get into your body. And the thing of it is because like what you're saying is this fast paced lifestyle, because boy, do I live it being a single mom. I mean, and those kids, they want the processed food and everything. And it's good, but it's addicting. It's so addicting. And you smell it. It's like, oh yeah, those fries, just salivating thinking of them. Right. And you really, a quote I have that goes through my mind every day, and I have to do this because I want to feel good in my skin. I want to look good in my skin because I'm getting older. I want to live a long time, and I want to be with my kids, and I want to be able to jump up and down and my knees not hurt. And I was 100 pounds heavier. My knees hurt when I went up the stairs. I couldn't even go up the stairs at the school. It was so bad. I mean, and my chest was so huge. I was like triple D's. I don't know. They got in the way of everything. And I know some people know what I'm talking about. And you're just like, I was like, I can't take it anymore. They're in the way. And I just want to be able to move and be able to do things, right? And feel my best self. So a lot of times what I say to myself is I go, Debbie, I'm eating to fuel my body. Does this fuel my body? And what am I going to feel like after I eat it? And I have a talk with myself before I go and eat that donut because it looks real pretty. That cupcake looks real pretty with the frosting because I'm a frosting girl. I like the frosting. I'm from Georgia, so sorry.
I resonate because you had me thinking about nothing but cakes because they sent me a coupon today. Buy one buntlet, get one free. And I'm like, ooh.
I know, right, girl? Yeah. And you know what? I don't deprive myself. Like every now and then I'll have something. And you know what? Even now and then I'll take like one bite, but you don't have to eat the whole thing. And that was my thing is I went through a depression error in my life, you know, with a bad divorce. And I ate my way to numbness. And everybody has their thing. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be whatever it is. Mine was I was going to eat away my stress, depression, to numb myself from the pain. Okay. And that's what I did. And understanding that and why I did that, you have to know why you're eating. Why are you doing what you're doing? When you walk into that cabinetry and you've let yourself get so hungry, there's a hunger scale. Let's say it goes from 1 to 10. And you know that when you're at 5, you need to be starting to find something to eat. And if you don't, and you let yourself slide and go to 7 to 8, well, that's when you're going to start picking up anything that looks like anything and start shoving it in your mouth because I'm going to become, I'm sorry, a really bad, mean person.
She's going to be hangry. And that's very true because a lot of people have the emotional eating. Then you have the hangry eaters, which you haven't ate in some time, or maybe you miss your snack period or your lunchtime and you get really bad and you're not even consciously eating. You're just eating to eat to fill that void and satiate yourself. So you really have to be conscious of what am I eating, like Debbie was saying, how is it making me feel, and etc. And know what your triggers are. Because if you don't know what your triggers are, you're not going to understand the why. And until you understand the why, you're not really going to have that overall nutritional balance. And then that nutritional balance is not going to complement you fitness wise, because you could be doing all the things to stay fit. But if your nutrition is not in alignment with that, what's the point of doing that fitness routine?
Absolutely. Very well said. I love that, girl. Yes. It's so true. And people will say, well, I deserve it. I did this amount of workout and this, that, and the other. And, you know, exercise is only 80%. 20%. It's diet and exercise. So it's diet 80% and exercise like 20%. And some people even say 90-10, you know? So it's really all about what you're putting in your body. When they say you are what you eat, you really are what you eat. So be looking at that and thinking that when you go to eat and going from that 100, losing that 100 pounds. I had a why, I had a motivation. I wanted to be a good role model for my kids. I had a good why. There's got to be a good why of why you want to lose the weight and why you're going to stay, because motivation only lasts for so long. You know what I mean? You've got to have that discipline for yourself because nobody else can do it for you. You have to love yourself enough to say, okay, I want this. I'm going to do this. So for me, nobody else is going to do it for me. And it's so easy to give in and go, I just can't do it. so easy to say, well, I can't do it. Why are you saying that? That's only going to last that. And then you give in and you feel good for a few minutes, but then after that, you feel horrible. You drop and you feel horrible. And that lasts a lot longer.
Absolutely. I call it the dungeon drop effect. So anyone who's familiar with Six Flags or any of the amusement parks, it takes you up and it's fun going up because you can see everything around and the scenery. And then before you know it, it's like boom, and it drops you really quick. And it's just like whenever you eat those sugary sweets, the sodas, the 5 hour energy, and etc. It boosts you up and you feel good for a moment. You're on cloud nine, but then it drops you and you feel lethargic, you feel sluggish, you feel like you need to take a nap, and etc. So I always tell people, yes, you could have those bad foods if you choose, but do it in moderation. Don't overdo it. And if you eat something bad, how many reps are you going to do in the gym to counteract that? What's your water intake like? Are you staying hydrated? And people say take your weight divided by 2, and that's the number of ounces your personal body needs a day. Or some people who can't remember that. I had a coach on here a while back and he said just tell everyone to drink a gallon of water a day. And
That's
so
good. It is good. Yeah.
So that's another thing there. And I love your point, Debbie. You are what you eat. Like Krispy Kreme donuts are amazing. That's my first go-to. Or Shipley's. But I'm like, do I want to look like a donut? And if I don't want to look like a donut, then I need to be mindful because women know when you hit 30s and above, you start to pack on that weight in your midsection. And your midsection, if your midsection is carrying too much weight, then that affects your back. You have lower back pains. It affects your upper part. Debbie was talking about her boobs earlier because all of that weight is not good. And then all of that weight then affects your joints. And then your joints start to ache and etc. And you wonder, why am I feeling this way? But well, where are you carrying that weight? And what does your lifestyle look like? And one way to overcome that, I always like to recommend meal prepping. I've done that for some while whenever, especially working in corporate for 15 years, there came a time where I was so busy. I had to like prep my meals on Saturday. I would prep like 3 days worth of meals or sometimes even 5, but then you get bored. So recently I had this guy on, Nate Palmer, and he talked about batch cooking. So he talked about getting a bunch of chicken breasts or chicken thighs, whatever you want to use, and batch cook that. Then you can make chicken tacos, you can make tiki masala, or you can make something else. And then just put your different carbs and other things with it. And before you know it, you already have meals that are done.
Absolutely. That's exactly how I eat now. And it's so much easier because I come home. I'm a mail carrier during the day. So when I come home, it's real easy for me and the kids. I've already got it cooked. I just got to warm it up, fix it in whatever way that I want to, and I get those pre-made salads. They're already done for me. I just put them in a bowl. What kind of salad you kids want tonight? We've got our salads and it's just it's easy. There is a way to do it. People say, I can't do it. It's too hard. It's not. You just got to make the time. And like you said, on a Saturday or a Sunday night, just 1 hour of your time. That's it. Just take it, prep it, and go for it. You'll be so happy you did because you're going to be eating better. You're going to be feeling better. You're going to be living better.
Absolutely. And another thing too, for those snackers, you can make trail mixes. Like if you have a Sam's or a Costco, or for some of those of you up north, there's BJ's where you could buy the mixed nuts. And then if you want to buy dry fruits, you could package that together. Or there's different carrots and hummus that goes well, or raisins and etc. Think about what type of snacks that you could replace for those unhealthy snacks, especially if you like chips and you like to have that crunchiness. Well, try some nuts and you'll have that crunchiness and pair it with something sweet. Or bananas. Bananas are good for potassium. They help you stop cramping and etc. Then smoothies. Smoothies are a really good way to stay full. So you could do a green smoothie, which is spinach and kale. You want to sweeten it up, add a banana in there, put a little bit of cinnamon in it. And if you want, just put some yogurt in it, whether it's Greek yogurt or etc. And then you could also do juicing. Juicing does take a lot of work. That's why it's so high in the stores. I mean, oh my gosh, it takes so much to juice and to clean the juicer afterwards. But that is fueling your body. And then if you don't want to do all those things, there are health and wellness products that I sell similar to Debbie. So at first I was doing Nisha Red with Young Living, and now I'm doing the Sunrise with Kiani. And it's amazing because it has all your super fruits and nutrients in one package that you could do on a go, and it's not junk.
That's absolutely right. It's all good for your body. I love it. That's beautiful. My goodness, I lost my train of thought there. You took me on a whirlwind. I was loving everything that you were saying, girl.
So, well, I'll ask you another question. So, when you hit 40 and you realized that you wanted to compete for the title, United States of America, and you were going out for Miss Nevada, what are some of the things that you had to implement in your fitness routine as well as your nutrition routine to make sure you held yourself accountable?
Well, I got up every morning at 4 a.m. because, and I still do it to this day. I get up and I exercise, and I started with 15 minutes. That's it. I'm not crazy, just 15 minutes. I'm an older girl. It's all I need. And like we already talked about the percentages of exercise versus diet. Okay. But I got it in there, and a good stretch is good because I'm getting older. I need to keep my body loose and moving good. You should see me. I jump in and out of that mail truck faster than anybody, girl. So I started doing that. Drinking the water, you have to do that. Just started eating better, making better choices, trying to be a good influence on my kids. Just having a goal in my mind and envisioning it, waking up and just taking a few moments to myself to have that morning routine, and saying my affirmations and what I believe, and getting my mental state about me and my day. That is the best way for me to go about my day. And when I do that, exercising or stretching, and I've got my mind going, I feel so good. I feel like I could take on the world when I leave here. It is amazing. And I guess by doing it in the morning, everybody has their times. They can do it in the evening if that's best for them, whenever they want to do it. But I'll tell you what, after I get done working, I'm tired. I come home and it's real easy for me to sit down on that sofa and just, put the television on, have my dinner, and go, you know what? I'm so tired. I don't feel like doing anymore. And as you get older, that seems to be what we want to do. So by doing it in the morning has been really great for me because it's how I start my day. And then I'm off like a cannon. It's like having a jolt of coffee. Woo! So I got to say that for me is what worked for me. I'd like to just tell women, it doesn't matter how old you are. The first pageant I did, when I used to choreograph dancing for the Mrs. Nevada for America pageants, and the collegiate and the teen and all kinds of different pageant systems. And when the director saw me and she saw how much weight I had lost, she said, Debbie, you were looking really good. And I said, well, yeah, too bad I can't be in the Mrs. Nevada pageant. And she's like, no, but you could. Give me a call. So I called her up, and I was in in her pageant as in the Miss division, which was younger, and they were adding the older girls in with the younger girls. And I ended up winning first runner up. And I stood next to my friend Paris, who was 22 years old at 49, stood next to her. I can't tell you how amazing I felt. I was like, I'm so proud of myself being able to stand here next to a 22-year-old and hold my own. I mean, what an accomplishment that is in itself. The best part about pageants, I have to say, is it's like, you're beautiful. I'm beautiful, but you're beautiful too. And I love that we appreciate each other for each other's beauty, because that's what we're about, is everybody's trying to be their best selves, and we pump each other up. And I got to say, it doesn't matter. I think a lot of people think of toddlers and tiaras when they think of pageantry, and it really isn't that way. At least my experience hasn't been like that. Some of my best friends are from pageants because they're all trying to better themselves. I mean, the judges could have liked blondes, is all, you know what I mean? Who knows what it was, right? I felt good in what I had done in myself and where I got myself to even get up on stage and to present myself in front of people and to be judged. I mean, that takes a lot of courage to do that, especially at my age. So my thing is, I want to influence women and inspire them that it doesn't matter how old you are beautiful. It is all within you. And doesn't matter what kind of nose you have, eyebrows you have. No, we are all beautiful.
That's amazing because age is just a number, but how you walk and hold yourself with confidence and courage, you can really achieve your wildest dreams.
Amen.
And as long as you feel good, you're going to look good. So you have to ask yourself, what type of things do I need to sacrifice? How am I going to remain consistent? And that's what you're doing, Debbie, because getting up every morning at 4 a.m. is consistency. It's also persistence and dedication. You're dedicating that time to yourself. And while you're dedicating that time to yourself, you're starting your day on a positive, high note, because who's going to do it for you if you don't? And it's part of self care. And I think that's a big component in what we talked about today, too, is really having that self care so you could have your best health over 40. And it allows you to then be able to juggle your work life during the day when you're a mail carrier, then to juggle mom life when you're juggling kids as a single mother, plus running a business and doing a podcast. You have to have time for yourself. And when you don't make time for yourself, you're not going to be able to lend yourself to other people who really need you, such as your kids and your business partners or etc.
Absolutely. And what kind of example are you, giving to your kids? So my kids, that was the whole thing, was setting a goal, going for it and achieving it, and just them seeing how dedicated I am. I mean, when they saw me on stage, they're like, Mom, it was like you were a star, you know. It's just super cute. And just the fact that I, did that, and they got to see that, they get to see Mom up and exercising every morning. So what do you think they want to do? They want to eat right. They want to exercise. They want to be healthy. It's an example.
That
So
that is amazing. And I commend you for all the things that you've accomplished and the things you're going on to accomplish. And Debbie, as we wind down, I want you to leave the listeners and viewers with your personal call to action for this segment.
my personal call to action for this segment would be for them to be true to themselves, not to give themselves excuses. Why are you coming up with these excuses? Be honest with yourself. Really search for the reason behind it, your why, because that is the most important thing, you guys, is knowing your why. What do you want out of life? Go for it. Do it. If you can dream it, you can have it. It's yours. It's within your reach. You just have to believe it.
Absolutely. Know your why and start with the end in mind. And Debbie, how can our listeners and viewers connect with you via your website and social media?
Beautiful. They can get a hold of me at youruniquesparkle@gmail.com. And I am also going to give you a link. They can have a free ebook on self-sabotage, Reignite Your Sparkle. So if they'd like to read that book, You know, if they're doing any self-sabotage stuff, this might, you know, open their eyes and help them out. So I'll give that link so that you can put that in the description below. And there you go. Any questions, you guys? Just, I'd love to talk to you. Please leave a review. Leave Genesis 5 stars because she's so excellent in what she does. I thank you so much for letting me be here. You're a wonderful talk show host. I've really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Debbie. And listeners and viewers, in light of Debbie, I want you to use your unique sparkle to illuminate the world around you and find your inner glow, because your inner glow is going to help with an outer glow, and that outer glow is going to ignite other people. Your smile is your signature. Your light knocks out darkness, and you are here for a reason. So believe in yourself, rise above limitations, and break down barriers, because you are uniquely created for such a time as this. Until we chat next time, peace, love, and lots of blessings. Subscribe to the podcast. We're on 40 plus platforms, and follow us on YouTube at Gems with Genesis Amaris Kemp for all things video content. Ciao.